that the girl's gone. And he goes back into the purple room. But now things have shifted around. Now we're going to focus on a light socket, or an electric outlet, actually, sorry. When he first entered the purple room, it's at a 3 on it. Or 15, actually, it had a 15. Now, since the lever was pulled down, it has a 3 there. And now, Ronette Pulaski from the original Twin Peaks is in the purple room. And she's able to talk in that reversed backward speech that we're used to from the Black Lodge. And she warns Cooper that he has to hurry because of her mother, is what she said. That's the term, her mother. And again, that banging happens on the door, someone trying to get in the room. But the room's different. Now you can actually see there's a blue rose on a table, quite literally a blue rose, and there's a fireplace that this Ronette Pulaski is by. So Cooper walks over to the electric outlet, and he basically forces himself in as it sucks him in into the electric outlet. And he is pulled inside, except for his shoes. His shoes fall to the ground in this purple room. And that is the end of that part. I mean, there's a lot to take apart there. I mean, that's pretty crazy stuff. And if people thought episodes 1 and 2 were avant-garde and crazy, then this just destroys that. This 20 minutes is like, wow. Wow, Bob, wow, which I believe I said last week too, but there's not much else you could say. It was insane. Take a sip of coffee here. Damn fine coffee. So, that takes us to... One second here, I do apologize. I have a number of notes because there's a lot to cover here. Ronette does say something important. She does say, when you get there, you will already be there. So, obviously Cooper is not quite sure what that means, but he's used to getting, you know, these odd riddles and clues from the Black Lodge, so I'm sure he realizes it means something, that she wouldn't have just said it. And right then, Doppelkoop driving down the highway in his car, and he has a car crash. He starts seeing red curtains in front of him as he's driving, and it's like basically his time now to go into the Black Lodge, for him to return. And he gets into a car crash, and then he vomits up Garmonbozia. You know, Garmonbozia is what resembles cream corn. It was in the original series, and Garmonbozia is translated in Firewalk with Me as pain and sorrow. So he ends up vomiting that up, and then he's like in the car crash and basically knocked out and unconscious. Okay, so we cut to South Dakota again. And we were in South Dakota in the first episodes of Twin Peaks. That's where William Hastings is basically in prison for the murder of, I want to say, I know her last name is Davenport. I can't remember her first name. Anyway, now in South Dakota, we meet Dougie Jones, okay? And Dougie Jones is another doppelganger of Cooper. Looks exactly like Cooper, and he's with a prostitute in this, I guess a rental home, I guess you could say, or a probably like a demonstration home, because I believe he's a realtor. So he's just finished with her, and he gets sick, and he vomits, which could be Garmonbozia. It's hard to tell. It's dark, and it's a small amount. It's not a huge amount, and I didn't see what resembled cream corn at all. It looked more like bile or something terrible like that. But with that, we'll have a piece of pie here, a little taste of pie. Because who doesn't want to have some pie when they're talking about vomit and bile? This must be where pies go to heaven. So, Dougie is sick. He vomits. And this is where it gets complicated, so I had to make notes. So, Prince, good to see you. Good to see you, Prince of Motley. Well, that's weird, Prince. I don't know why I did that. Sorry about the technical issues anyone's having. So now, we notice that Dougie Jones has the Owl Cave ring. The Owl Cave ring is bad news. It was first in Fire Walk with Me. And fans are really happy to see that again, I think, because that connects it strongly with Fire Walk with Me. It was one of the coolest visuals, I think, the Owl Cave ring. And I wish it would have been in the series, but I think it's something that David just thought of after the series. So that's why it wasn't in there. So, he's got that Owl Cave ring, and that means that, yes indeed, his arm is numb. Just about everyone who's had the ring. Teresa Banks and Laura, everyone has had, well, Laura didn't take the ring, actually. But we know Teresa Banks had a numb arm a few days right before she was killed. And, yeah, there's definitely a causality between the Owl Cave ring and the Black Lodge. So, all of a sudden, Dougie Jones disappears from his the realtor house or wherever he is, and ends up in the Black Lodge. He is in the Black Lodge, and he meets the one-armed man who's there. The one-armed man is not happy to see him. He seems upset, and he says, "You were manufactured for a purpose." And now that purpose has become clear, or something to that effect. I don't have the exact words. I apologize. I have some quotes here, but not all of them. Also, enjoying the episodes too. We're trying a mix between analytical as well as fully enjoying the episode. And all of a sudden, Dougie in the Black Lodge starts shrinking. Okay, and he shrinks. His arm. The first way to show his arms start shrinking. And the ring just falls right off his arm onto the floor. And then he's like, "That's weird." And then his head pops like a balloon. Like no guts or anything like that. It just gone, instantly gone. And what's there is like black smoke. And then his suit falls to the ground. We see what resembles the evolution of the arm's head. I can't be sure that's what it was. But then it mingles with the smoke and then turns into a golden ball bearing that falls onto the seat of a chair. So, whatever Dougie was manufactured for seems to now have happened. And it's a golden ball bearing. And, yeah, say goodbye to Dougie. Now, we have to ask, manufactured, was it Bob who manufactured him? Was this like years and years ago that Bob has been playing this long game and set up somebody and somehow created a doppelganger of Coop that was in the real world? And are there more of them? As these episodes go on, will we see Kyle MacLachlan in more insane wigs and costumes and things like that because there are other doppel Coops that Bob created? Because something tells me that it's a process that isn't just done once. I think he might have made more than one. And I'll be very interested to see how he created these doppelgangers too. It's not a guarantee it's Bob, but I'd say there's a strong chance it is. Although Bob seemed frightened and terrified before his car crash, like he didn't know what was going to happen. So, I don't know. It's hard to say exactly. And now I'm going to have another sip of delicious coffee. Okay. So then, after that happens, we focus on an outlet in the realtor house, and Cooper comes out of the outlet. A long trail of smoke eventually turns into Special Agent Dale Cooper. The prostitute walks into the room and sees what she thinks is Dougie. So now we have a mistaken identity case where everyone is going to think that a Special Agent Dale Cooper is actually Dougie Jones. Okay? So then we end up going to a casino because it is a misunderstanding, I believe, from what the prostitute understands that Cooper wants. So takes him to the casino, and at the casino, there's this amazing part where the floating image of the Black Lodge appears above slot machines. So Cooper, again, everyone thinks he's Dougie, is going around in this weird, like, mental haze, walking around almost Frankenstein-like, and not able to utter a word except words that he hears other people say. And he starts winning jackpots at the slot machines. One after another, we see the image of the Black Lodge above the slot machine. He goes to that slot machine. And as you're watching this, you're like, what the hell is going on? And why is the Black Lodge helping Cooper win a ton of money? It's very surreal. And there's this older woman there who's like trying to win on the slots, and that's pretty funny. And that comes up just a little bit later. Then everyone, I think all fans love this. Hey, Mr. Try, how you doing? Good to see him, Mr. Trioxin 28. We end up in Philadelphia. That's right, with Special Agent Gordon Cole and Albert Rosenfield. And they are in a meeting with, this is a huge spoiler if you haven't read it, so please understand there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this, so you understand, with TP, the creator of the Twin Peaks, Secret History of Twin Peaks book, TP, who turns out to be named Tammy Preston, and she is a FBI agent. And this is where things start getting connected, and where people that are all freaked out and terrified of what they're seeing from Twin Peaks' first 4 episodes can start understanding, or first 3 episodes, can start understanding that David Lynch has a purpose. David Lynch knows what's going on here, and him and Mark Frost are going to create something that is going to be challenging, yet palatable, we'll say. Okay, so Tammy shows some footage, slides and things, of the glass box in New York from episode 1 and 2. And she has an image of the creature that was in the box and the wreck, basically, of what was left of the 2 young people in that room. And I believe it was Special Agent Gordon Cole goes, "What the hell?" I believe, when he sees the box and what's inside of it.